Open-world games planned for 2026 are aiming bigger than ever. Vast maps, long journeys, and worlds built for discovery are taking shape across different genres. These massive adventures are the ones players are watching closely as 2026 approaches. Let's dive right in. Soulframe is a fantasy action RPG set in a vast world, slowly being consumed by corruption. Players will take on the role of an envoy, moving through open regions shaped by nature, ancient forces, and ongoing conflict. Combat is expected to focus on deliberate melee encounters, magic, and close-range precision rather than speed. The setting suggests a quieter, grounded adventure centered on reclaiming balance and restoring a broken land.
To whip it would we.
Light No Fire is an open-world survival adventure set on a single fantasy planet built at an Earth-like scale. It focuses on long-term living, building, and traveling across vast landscapes shaped by danger and mystery. Progress centers on survival, discovery, and cooperation, whether played solo or alongside others. The world presents itself as ancient and indifferent, where curiosity and endurance matter more than heroism.
Millions of souls pour into the underworld every day.
Swords of Legends presents a dark action RPG where players take the role of a reborn underworld enforcer known as a Seapan. Combat centers on mystical techniques, divine artifacts, and captured souls used to control the battlefield. Encounters are framed around reading enemy behavior and applying the right spiritual tools at the right moment. The world appears hostile and supernatural, pushing mastery and precision over raw power.
Souls that stray. I've watched over this city for ages, and every name in your scroll of death. Not one of them dies quietly. You, a soulless husk. You can judge my fate! Why wrestle rogues when their artifacts can do what brute strength cannot?
What? The soulless husk?
The living cast their dead to flame and
ignites the war banners!
Here we go again.
Death.
Every slain demon is another unheard prayer. Hantry reavers scour the yet fertile land.
Mortem introduces a dark medieval action game set in the corrupted world of Contrara, where brutal melee combat defines every encounter. Players are cast as vessels, bound to a broken realm and drawn into relentless conflict between warring factions. Combat emphasizes precision, timing, and close quarters intensity across grim battlefields and cursed domains.
Soaked into my steel remembers. I remember the enemy.
Hi everyone, long time no see. I'm Giru and I'm the project lead for Mortem. Thank you for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter trailer and I hope you enjoyed it. Mortem is a passion project, many years in the making, and we are incredibly excited to finally share it with you. We would love for you to go and check out our Kickstarter page, see what Mortem is all about, and please consider backing the project to help bring it to life. Every bit of contribution, any support, whether big or small, means the world to us. There is a dev blog coming very soon as well, so please stay tuned for more updates as the campaign unfolds. I want to thank you for your continued support, and I want to thank you on behalf of the Mortem team, and I want to invite you to join us on the journey ahead.
You are in a continent known in the common tongue as Neokos.
Solasta 2 returns as a turn-based tactical RPG set in the mana-scarred lands of Neokos, where a rising dark force threatens the balance of the realm. Players assemble a party of adventurers bound by legacy, facing perilous encounters shaped by strategy, positioning, and chance. The game looks ahead to a choice-driven journey grounded in classic tabletop-style rules, with battles and decisions carrying lasting weight across a dangerous fantasy world.
Truly ready for this? We know so little about Neokos.
Mir 5 moves the long-running Mir franchise forward as a large-scale MMORPG focused on a persistent, shared world. Set on a vast fantasy continent, the game looks toward open-ended progression shaped by player activity, shifting regions, and long-term conflict. Systems around economy, territory, and community appear designed to evolve over time, with technology-driven elements influencing how the world reacts and changes as players move through it.
Welcome to the archipelago.
The Wayward Realms is an open-world fantasy RPG built around large-scale role-playing and long-term consequences. Its world stretches across a sprawling chain of islands, defined by political struggle, rising powers, and meaningful player influence. It emphasizes player freedom, ongoing world changes, and long-term consequences.
We have come to the town of Melhelm at the behest of Lady Ravensworth, stepmother to the local baron in search of information. Rumors have been circulating of strange occurrences around the tomb of Lord Godsend, a former rival to the baron who met his end at our own hands. We were sent to seek out Niles, an informant for the Order of Saint Latra. But it seems the door is locked. There must be another way in. Not the friendly sort. Maybe he just needs a little convincing. Excellent. We have the information we need. Now let's be on our way. We have our goal, but there will be some obstacles in the way. It is up to us how we wish to achieve it. Combat. Stealth. Magic. Or using our wits and knowledge. Of course, sometimes that might not be enough.
Vindictus Defying Fate presents a third-person action RPG focused on precise, skill-driven combat and distinct playable characters. Battles are built around reading enemy movements, timing dodges, and striking with intent rather than raw power. The world is structured around focused combat spaces and story-driven encounters, aiming for a darker fantasy tone shaped by fate, conflict, and personal resolve.
No!
feel to learn the truth about the night sky tragedy?
ArcheAge Chronicles introduces a large-scale MMORPG set in the rediscovered land of Aurora, where pioneers arrive seeking power, wealth, and influence. The world is built around open-ended progression, mixing story-driven conflicts with player-led activity across land and sea. Combat, trade, and survival all play a role in shaping how Aurora develops, with the focus placed on freedom, rivalry, and long-term presence in a shared world.
You have no trust in your kind. Prove yourself. If you survive this trial,
Fable returns to the world of Albion as a third-person action RPG built around choice, consequence, and a distinctly British fantasy tone. The game looks ahead to a reimagined setting where humor, danger, and moral decisions shape how the world reacts to you. Combat, storytelling, and character growth appear closely tied to how players define their hero, keeping Albion reactive and unpredictable. Project Awakening presents a dark fantasy action RPG that appears focused on grounded realism and scale. Combat seems designed around weight and physical presence rather than speed, with encounters that feel deliberate and dangerous. The project continues to draw attention as a potential showcase for high-end fantasy design and technical ambition. Fatekeeper is a first-person action RPG that appears built around swordplay, magic, and a tightly crafted fantasy world. Ruined locations and forgotten battlegrounds suggest a setting shaped by past disasters and lingering mystery. Combat seems focused on deliberate melee strikes paired with carefully timed spells where preparation and awareness matter.
You'll be when the void invites you in.
spirits preserve me. Just get back in the knapsack.
Fine. But remember, we must reach the moon gate and find some clue as to how it may be opened.
I still pray we might find survivors. Someone who can tell us what truly happened here.
Let him go for now, youngling. Let's see what this place holds.
Youngling, do you know my age, rodent?
Your years mean little. This is your first vigil. Thus, you are a neophyte, whether you enjoy the title or not.
the purge. We haven't much time.
Soon, after the fall of North,
Return to Nangrim presents a first-person fantasy adventure built around survival, crafting, and dwarven lore. An abandoned mountain city forms the core setting, where darkness, cold, and scarcity define the atmosphere. The game points toward a slower, methodical pace focused on preparation, resource use, and navigating hostile underground spaces.
The shadows roamed the lands. The embers turned cold. And what was once a resplendently beautiful place fell victim to decay.
The world ended long ago.
Darkcraft presents a dark fantasy journey built around forbidden magic and its consequences. The world appears centered on ritual sites, corrupted lands, and unstable power drawn from ancient sources. Progress seems closely tied to choice, where gaining strength carries visible costs and long-term consequences that shape the path ahead.
Selves. Nameless warriors die so that legends may live. Silence breaks and he awakens.
The Blood of Dawnwalker introduces a dark fantasy action RPG set in a fractured 14th century Europe where history and myth begin to collide. The story follows Cohen, a man caught between human life and vampiric existence, as rising darkness spreads across the land. The world appears shaped by time pressure, shifting alliances, and difficult moral paths tied to day and night.
Feared for our souls instead. The vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. To turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Worst nightmare. A Dawnwalker. Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand the evil behind it all.
He is out there watching, seeping into you. Growing. Sometimes I wonder if it's not me that's possessed.
The Vernyhorn is a third-person open-world RPG that presents a grounded fantasy world shaped by faith, fear, and survival. You'll play in a man burdened by his past, moving through harsh landscapes where daily life, danger, and belief quietly collide. The world appears focused on realism and atmosphere, with combat and survival tied closely to physical presence and preparation.
Power reveals the man. In your case, we didn't have to wait long.
Who the fuck are you anyway?
What the fuck are you waiting for?
Listen. Isn't it beautiful? Since I was a child, I used to sit here and listen to the howling wolves. Within the shelter of those ancient stones, they always made me feel safe. Sometimes I get the feeling that these beasts, though wild, have more loyalty in them than many humans. Let me tell you a story.
You just can't stay away. You lied to me. Why?
Another whiner? What, too loud for you?
I've seen wolves leave the meat untouched. Just lingered. They look less guilty than you two. Funny, isn't it?
That's enough.
You see that chop on the water? Storm's coming from the land.
Never seen the winter hit this early.
It seemed innocent at first. There were faint sounds, small taps, nothing unsettling.
Then small things began to disappear. You know, people thought it was the kids playing tricks. However, over time, the sound became unbearable. The wind blended with what seemed like the wail of a wounded soul. They thought it was just the wind howling through the cracks. But the truth was far worse.
Thou shalt not kill. So the priests tell us. So the Lord commands.
Chronicles Medieval introduces a large-scale medieval sandbox where power, land, and legacy sit at the center of play. The setting suggests a living world shaped by warfare, politics, and personal ambition. Progress appears tied to rising from obscurity toward command and influence across contested regions. It suggests a realistic journey where power, decisions, and survival matter.
I became like them. I took up the sword, prayed I could win redemption through my deeds. But some paths, once taken, have only one ending. I shall find no peace. On this road, there is only death. But that's just my story. Go write your own.
Alkahest presents a grounded action-adventure RPG set in a troubled medieval world shaped by politics, family legacy, and survival. Combat appears close and physical, built around melee fights that rely on positioning, timing, and the environment around you. Alchemy seems central to progress, replacing magic with unpredictable tools that can change how encounters unfold. The game suggests a realistic journey where reputation, decisions, and skill slowly shape your place in the world.